Will Dubai become less popular with the new proposal of a 9% corporate tax? Today I'm going to share all the details of how the new tax will affect you. My name is Rustan Abdushelishvili. I'm responsible for financial health of Nomad Capitalist, where we help high net worth individuals legally reduce their taxes, get second citizenship, and go where you're treated best. So the first question is, who is taxed? Corporate income tax is applicable to UAE incorporated companies, including limited liability companies, public shareholding companies, and public joint stock companies. Also, dormant companies will be expected to register and file a tax return. Foreign legal entities that have permanent establishment in the UAE and earn income within the UAE will also be affected. Foreign legal entities that are tax resident in the UAE by the way of management and control, and branches of foreign and UAE companies will also have to register and pay the tax, and taxable natural persons operating through sole establishments or as individual partners in an unincorporated partnership and conducting businesses in the UAE will also be affected. Now let's talk about who is taxed. So corporate income tax will apply to all businesses registered in the UAE and conducting commercial activities within mainland UAE. There's a minimum annual exemption with a threshold of 375,000 dirhams, that is around 102,000 US dollars. So income below this amount is taxed at 0%. Next logical question is, when will the tax become effective? The UAE corporate income tax regime will become effective for financial years starting on or after June 1st, 2023. So, for example, if a business that has a financial year starting on July 1st, 2023 and ending on June 30th, 2024 will become subject to the UAE corporate income tax from July 1st, 2023. So, which is the beginning of the first financial year that starts on or after June 2023. And the business that has a calendar year as a financial year starting on January 1st, 2023 and ending on December 31st, 2023 will become subject to the UAE corporate tax from January 1st, 2024, which is the beginning of the first financial year that starts on or after June 2023. So what does it mean for business? The concept of free zones in the UAE will continue to protect current entrepreneurs while inviting new ones with more attractive packaging and pricing structures. Corporate tax will drive up inflowing investments and incentivize small businesses and startups to self-invest. The UAE government will likely ramp up even further on incentive programs and an entrepreneurship ecosystem building. Some experts say startups can take a small hit in the short term as a result of the new corporate tax. Other experts disagree. Keeping the sentiment in mind, the question thus becomes, what businesses expect to reap in benefits as a result of this tax? Here are three expectations that businesses already have. The concept of free zones in the UAE will continue to protect current entrepreneurs while inviting new ones with a more attractive packaging and price structure. The corporate tax announcement underlined that the free zone businesses can continue to benefit from corporate tax incentives as long as they comply with the necessary requirements. Free zones were established to attract innovation to the UAE and house entrepreneurs. Companies registered in the Dubai International Financial Center, for example, will remain subject to 0% tax until 2071, as highlighted by the National Law Review. Corporate tax will drive up inflowing investments and incentivize small businesses and startups to self-invest. So, for the small businesses and startups are thus very well positioned to reap the benefits of an increased economic appetite in investment as bigger companies attempt to reduce their tax burden. Additionally, corporate tax will push most companies to further invest in their own growth. The UAE government will likely ramp up even further on investment programs and entrepreneurship ecosystem building. Here at Nomad Capitalist, we always recommend you to diversify yourself from the government and to build your portfolio with second passports or second residence. But we can't ignore the fact that history tells us that entrepreneurship is already treated as a priority in the UAE. From governmental project tendering process perks to quotas on awarding a minimum of 15-20% of contracts to startups, we can expect UAE to amplify the volume of support it provides to small businesses and startups to ensure the sustainability of the sector. But remember to always have Plan B. Entrepreneurs will be able to benefit from expanding incubation programs that equip promising startups with strategy partners, advisors, and investors. This is exemplified by the recently announced Area 2071 ecosystem overseen by Dubai Future Foundation, as well as some other government-run or sponsored business incubators and accelerators. This is in line with the UAE eyeing the launch of 20 unicorns over the next 10 years. So there's one important question that all of us have, whether free zone entity is required to pay this tax. So free zone businesses will be subject to UAE corporate income tax, but the UAE corporate income tax regime will continue to honor the corporate income incentives currently being offered to free zone businesses that comply with all regulatory requirements and that do not conduct business within mainland UAE. This is expected to be extended for 50 years at the moment. There are some additional requirements, so a business established in a free zone will be required to register and file the corporate income tax return. Looking at how the UAE has addressed transitioning in new legislation and business practices, it is without a doubt that international best practices in entrepreneurship support and nurturing will be employed to soften the impact of corporate tax on this segment, meaning we can expect to see more details on tax exemption, relief applications and subsidies as more details is rolled out ahead of June 2023. So what do you think about the new 9% tax in UAE? Please share your expectations in the comments below.